For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs.
From the end zone, it's Dearness Johnson. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
So out come the Texans for their opening drive.
Bringing them out in his 8th year out of Florida State, the former Heisman Trophy winner, Jameis Winston. Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted.
It's Chris Harris with a pick.
And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
Wow, just one snap in, partner, and the complexion of this game has already changed because for the defensive side, they just handed their offense a short field and a big early advantage. And even though it's only the first snap of the game, we're going to look back on this one and see if it has lasting effects as this game moves on.
They run over center with Peterson. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Adrian Peterson. A 13-yard touchdown run.
And the Steelers are on the board first here in this division round matchup.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. A nice tiny little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position. And only one play to score it. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. That's
ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, partner, not exactly the way they drew up the start of this one, but a chance to redeem themselves and hit the reset button here on their second possession.
And I do like that word that you just used, reset, right? In a lot of ways, it's just shaking off what happened before, starting fresh, almost like it's your first drive all over again. Go out and put your best foot forward.
A first carry here for Joe Mixon.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down. Jameis to throw it.
Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted.
It's Chris Harris with a pick.
And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Adrian Peterson with his second touchdown in this opening quarter.
And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
And that is off the left upright. It's no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done to put the game in jeopardy.
And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
They go play action. Winston. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Von Miller in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
On 4th down, Matt Araiza is sent on to punt.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield.
Following the punt return here, there's someone shaken up.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
They run the play fake. Here's Pickett.
Open man downfield as Waddle has got it. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 39 yards there, a big one.
I don't think anyone would argue that having that extra week definitely helps come playoff time. And those were some fresh legs right there. That extra practice.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Adrian Peterson doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter.
And the Steelers continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Well, this has all the makings of a landmark day running the football. He scored 3 times now. We haven't hit the quarter break.
You think back to Alvin Kamara, Christmas Day 2020, 6 touchdowns, which tied Ernie Nevers, the Hall of Famer. He's halfway there already. Some fancy footwork in the early going.
Extra point now by Boswell. Boy, these may be an adventure this afternoon, but this one is good. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it's capped off by a touchdown run by Adrian Peterson. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Houston's offense taking over again.
They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's the veteran Justin Houston who got in there to make the stop. The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And maybe shades of the steel curtain here as the Steeler defense drops him behind the line again. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. To throw is Winston. And that will be incomplete.
Well, the gap man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out come the Steelers.
But Charles, they're really stringing these possessions and scores together early. We're still in the 1st quarter, but if they can score again here, look out.
Yeah, and as you taught me when we're broadcasting games, one word we're supposed to avoid, and that's blowout. But that's exactly what's going on here. Down 3 possessions, just a
nice stiff arm that opens room to run. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Boy, still in the 1st quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now out comes Houston.
They're forced to play catch-up early in this division round game as they search for a seat in the AFC Championship round. The run there on first down gets him a yard to the 26.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
On second down, here's Mixon. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. On third down, Winston. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Fielded just inside the 30. A solid stiff arm. An entertaining start to this one. More to come. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Peterson. And some room to work. The 20. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Adrian Peterson, 46 yards. And the Steelers are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats, but what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
good luck.
He's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
So with a missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. One semi-factor, if you want to call it that was brought up in the papers this morning here, Charles. You met a dome team on the road in a cold weather environment, first round of the playoffs in January. Do you think that's a big deal?
Ordinarily, I say no, but in this situation, because you're used to that perfectly controlled environment, some coaches will want their teams exposed to it. And if you're coming from a warm weather place, and even getting outside of your dome doesn't really help you, a lot of times they'll go on the road a little bit earlier. Go to a cold weather place, go to a place where there's a little bit of weather and practice there that week before the game to try and simulate the conditions they expect on game day.
T.J. Watt with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. Adrian Peterson now getting ready to go again on offense. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? Second quarter, and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big because they're
focusing on the fourth quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here, and it's being done by him and, of course, the big guys up front who are creating the holes for him to run through.
Yeah, they've all been good so far. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 170 yards rushing for him now as he has been strong here in the first half of this divisional round matchup. 1st and 10, here's Pickett. Catch is made by Metcalf. And in for the Steelers touchdown. DK Metcalf, 48 yards. And the Steelers are an extra point away from going up by 40. Boswell good with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. For the football going back over now to the Houston Texans.
And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature.
And Jameis intercepted a third time. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six. First Steeler touchdown.
Well, CD, we have seen it many times throughout the course of the season. This defense coming up large and snagging a big takeaway. But here they get not just the takeaway, 6 points as well.
And you just knew that for this team to advance, it had to get a big performance from this unit. And to this point, they've delivered.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And a rout is on here in this first half. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he returns this to the 22. He threw the pick six last time out just a moment ago. Now 3 total interceptions for him in this ball game. He's had his struggles. 1st and 10 here.
The drive will commence with a run by Mixon. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now Winston. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Chris Harris with a pick.
And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ball game.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Again, Peterson. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Adrian Peterson taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Steelers just continue to roll.
Boswell good with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Houston set to take over.
It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe hit them on those short passes on the perimeter.
And now here's another interception. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. Boswell for the extra point. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Another not asking me, but I'll give you my opinion anyway. I think it's time to erase that play from the call sheet. I guess they figure with the big lead they can experiment a little bit. But all in all, just go ahead and put that play on ice.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
And here comes the Texans now. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Back to it after the pick six. Winston. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Play action now. Winston. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And now look at this, big gain but a fumble. Well, do you want to unpack that one or do you want me to?
You're the boss.
We get the interception, then really he's just too loose with the football on the return, and he coughs it right back up the other way.
I've seen this happen in NFL.
Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety.
Right now they're just trying to get to halftime because they need a break. This game, it's been a shellacking in every way, and they just got driven backwards for a safety.
Waddle now to return it.
To the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Jalen Waddle, 76 yards. And the Steelers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Let me go ahead and show my age a little bit. I liked it when they would fake it from the 3-yard line, right? When you'd line up, go ahead and, oh, there's a fake, and he's going to get 2. That's great. But from the 15, the risk-reward, it's just not there.
So risky to get 15 yards on a fake. Oh, you see the result right there.
Yeah, I know these young whippersnappers are trying to do different things in this game, but still back there reliable. Kick the ball through the post.
Get off my lawn.
That's darn right.
The first down throw for Winston. And this one too low.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
Matt Horizon now on to punt this one away.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Returnable here from the 38. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And how about this? He takes it all the way back. No time, no flags. A punt return touchdown and a stunning end of the first half.
And they kicked it to him. They kicked it to him. Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Extra point now by Boswell. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
So it's on to halftime of this AFC divisional round matchup as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. This fourth and final matchup on this divisional round weekend. We'll get back to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look back to Saturday's AFC divisional round game. And it is the Denver Broncos who are moving on as they were able to eliminate the Tennessee Titans. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in the first half for the Texans. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. And meanwhile, for the Steelers, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Final adjustments are underway in the locker rooms. Which of these two teams will survive and advance to next weekend's AFC Championship game? To find out, we go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. Waddle going to bring this out of the end zone now. And the Steeler offense ready to get going here in this third quarter. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, it may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
Pickett throwing again on second down. He's got a man complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Pickett to throw on first down. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And he bats it away and it falls down incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10 again from the 41. Working out of the gun, it's Pickett. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Looking to throw, Pickett. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. But that shouldn't matter a great deal as they still lead by a bundle here.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Here's Winston. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. It's taken to the 26. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out.
And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up, because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch, and guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did, because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
Here's a screen to Powell. And he's got some space here.
And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
You want to see a defensive coordinator get upset and throw his headset? This is the kind of play that'll do it. You force 3rd and long. This is almost sort of a give-up play. You're just hoping to get something positive, and it winds up breaking big, and they convert on 3rd down.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
Jalen Waddle.
A touchdown on a kick return, and now one through the air.
And the Steelers extend their lead yet again.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
And now out comes Houston.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
In every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw, Winston. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline. And this one goes sailing out of bounds. Where did it cross? Well, they're going to say on this side of midfield. A 10th carry now for Peterson. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. Past the 20. And all the way down to the 9. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown. Adrian Peterson. A 9-yard touchdown run.
And the Steelers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Selma, man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. Boswell for the extra point. Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here.
And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
On the give, this is their fullback. And he's going to be unable to get upfield as they take him down at the 21-yard line. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defense coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Throwing, Winston.
Open man is Chase, complete.
One quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. This offense so far on 3rd down, it has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And now here's another interception. It's Chris Harris with a pick.
And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
And we now have a new single-game interception king, a record-breaking 5th pick there.
If that's not the true definition of a ball hawk, I don't know what is. That is absolutely phenomenal. What comes to mind quickly, partner, is one of the more recent ones to get to 4. D'Angelo Hall, a terrific player in his own right, but in this case, 5. That sets a brand new NFL record.
They're going to hurry back to the line now.
2nd down, Peterson again. 246 yards rushing for him now in the ball game as he is trying to will his guys to the championship round next weekend.
And he's brought down. 18 yards that time to push him up, 1st and goal.
Peterson diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown. So they had a nice run to get him down there. He stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And the Texans set to come onto the field.
Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game.
To try again after the sack. Winston to the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. Here's Winston. And that will be incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
And he's got room. But he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 32-yard line. Pickett now to throw off the play fake. And Graham on the ground. Touchdown! Jimmy Graham, 32 yards. And the Steelers are drawing closer to a date in the AFC title game as they extend this fourth quarter lead. Extra point now by Boswell. And this part of the game's been an adventure thus far, but this one is good. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy two-play drive that time. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
A second down throw for Winston. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Working out of the gun, Winston. And now another one thrown incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And it would appear that that first-round bye certainly helped. They've looked fresh from the start and no letdown here as they lead big in this divisional round, and they look to book a spot in the conference championship. A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Another tote for the workhorse here this afternoon, Peterson. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Brandon, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves, you're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Pickett back to throw. That is taken in by Hurst. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bowling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
And that is off the left upright. It's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. The Texans back out there and ready to go. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. Just silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Winston. And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. Jameis again. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, but there is a flag down. He might get another shot at this. Got to be frank, a silly penalty there trying to block the field goal, and that leads to a fresh set of downs. Winston. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Steelers are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Rolling to his left. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage and a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
Adrian Peterson. And they will finally get him to the ground at the Texans' 5. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. And even 60 yards for him on the ground. First down, here's a run with Peterson. The Steelers going to survive and advance as we say so long, everybody.